Good evening, children. I hope everyone are doing fine. Let us continue with the chapter Atoms and Molecules. In our previous class, we studied what is atoms, what is molecules, what is elements, what is compounds, and also we learned to calculate the molecular mass of an element or a compound, right? So today we will be knowing how to write a chemical formula. Okay, so we have particular rules to be followed, so we will look into that. We shall start. Yes. So coming to name and symbols of some ions, so I'll let you know what is ions in a further session. Okay, so here in the table you can see there are 4 columns where you can see valency, and also I'll let you know what is valency and name of the ion and symbol of that ions, and you have non-metallic elements and polyatomic ions. Okay, and their symbols. So first coming to name of an ion, that is sodium, potassium, silver, copper, magnesium, calcium, zinc, iron, copper, aluminium and iron. So these are the names of ion. So let us see the valency of sodium. So what is the symbol of sodium? That is Na. And what is the valency of sodium? That is 1. And followed the same elements, go through it. Like potassium, the symbol of potassium is K, and I said you people how they got the names, right? So potassium symbol is K and their valency is 1. Silver is Ag and its valency is 1. And copper, it is Cu, valency is 1. So same thing, children. Okay, polyatomic in the sense you can see 2 ions, right? 2 ions you can see. So wherein NH4, it is 2 different elements, isn't it? So it is polyatomic. Okay, and go through this table, and some elements show more than one valency, like magnesium has 2 valency and aluminium has 3 valency, iron, that is Fe3 plus, has 3 valency. Okay, so here you can see Mg2 plus, so there it is 2 plus. Why? Because 2 plus is a donating electrons. Okay, so it donates the electrons to make the reaction stable or element stable, so it is 2, so we call valency as 2. So I'll explain this further, just go through the table. So children, coming to chemical equations, so we know they are represented of chemical reaction. This chemical equation, they are represented by chemical reaction. Okay, with the help of, like when we write chemical reaction, we use symbols and formulas, right? So this is exactly what I'm telling. So they are represented of chemical reaction. If you take chemical equation, they are represented by chemical reactions with the help of symbols as well as formula of that particular substance which involved in it. Okay, so elements are represented by symbols. Example NaClOHN. So these are elements. So you know what is elements. So same atoms constitute to form elements, isn't it? And elements, for example sodium, it is represented by Na. The symbol is Na. For chlorine it is Cl. For oxygen it is O. For hydrogen it is H. And for nitrogen it is N. So these are the elements and their symbols. Okay, so totally we see 118 elements in a periodic table. So that means around us. Okay, and compounds is represented by chemical formula. Elements always represented by the symbols, wherein the compounds, you know, different atoms constitute to form a compounds in a chemical reaction, right? So compounds, it is represented by chemical formula. For example, NaCl. Okay, here you can see 2 different elements, that is Na, sodium is one element and chlorine is one element. So it is constituting to form one compound, that is NaCl, sodium chloride. So it is represented by chemical formula. So remember this, always elements are represented by symbols, wherein compounds are represented by chemical formula. Okay, H2O, water, and ammonia, NH3. So 2 elements. So these are represented by chemical formula. So elements which are represented in a symbol can either be metals, non-metals, and also metalloids. So you know, right? So elements which is represented by symbol, so that can be either metals, or it can be non-metals also, or it can be metalloids also. Okay, so atoms are made up of three different kinds. So if you take up atoms, so okay, so when I come to this chapter structure of atom, I'll let you know people about the atoms. Okay, in brief, so atoms usually made up of different kinds of protons. So I mean three different kinds, that is protons, which is positively charged, and neutrons, which is neutrally charged, and electrons, that is negatively charged. You people know this concept. So always if you take one atom, it is made up of three different kinds, that is protons, neutrons, and electrons. So you know what are protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons are positively charged ions, neutrons are neutrally charged, electrons are negatively charged. So children, if metals are reacting, so if the metals are involved in a chemical reaction, that means they are going to donate electrons. So if I am a metal, so I will donate whatever the electrons is there with me, I'll donate few to the other chemical reactions. Okay, so after donating electrons, what happens, this metal, for example any sort of metal, Na, okay, so this have particular atoms, this is made up of particular atoms, and this is going to donate electrons to make itself a stable one. Okay, so either they can give octet state, that is 8 electrons they can donate, or 2 electrons in their last orbit. So this how the metals become very stable, that means they doesn't change. Okay, example sodium. Sodium is represented as Na, that is made up of atoms, that is atoms is made up of three kinds, that is electrons, protons, and neutrons. So here only protons and electrons is involved. Okay, so Na is made up of 11 electrons and 11 protons. So what I said, this is a metal now, isn't it? Sodium is a metal, it is going to donate electrons. So how much electrons it is donating? It is donating only 1 electron. Okay, if it donates 1 electron, what happens? 11 iddidu 10 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, isn't it? So 10 electrons ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 11 protons ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Now 10 electrons, it is less than 11 protons, isn't it? So another example we will take up, aluminium. Aluminium is made up of atoms, that is 13 electrons ಮತ್ತೆ 13 protons ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೊನೇಟ್ 3 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ 3 ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 10 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 13 ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ 13ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ 10 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. Okay, now we can say that aluminium 3 plus, it becomes positive, right? So it becomes 3 positive, that is 3 is a ions. Now we can say aluminium 3 plus are ions. Now you got an idea what is ions. So what about in sodium? Sodium 1 positive, right? That is ions. So during electrolysis what happens? They get attracted to negative charge because these are positively charged. When it goes to, when there is electrolysis process, what happens? This move to opposite charge, that is negative charge. So positive ions are called as cations, you know it, and negative ions are called anions, and the number of electrons that metal is going to donate becomes valency. Okay, so the number of electrons that is going to donate, okay, for example in sodium, so how many electrons is donated? 1. So 1 is the valency of sodium. Okay, so what is the valency in aluminium? That is 3, because 3 atoms has been donated. Okay, 3 electrons has been donated, so valency will be 3. So next, coming to non-metals. So what does non-metals do? It is opposite to metals. It is going to accept the electron. Non-metal will accept. For example, I am metal and one among you is a non-metal. What I do? I donate electron and you will accept it. That means you will receive it. Okay. For example, non-metals, you know what are the non-metals? Oxygen, chlorine. So oxygen has 8 electrons and 8 protons naturally. When it accept, what happens? It is 8 plus 2. That means 10 electrons and 8 protons it will be. Now what happens to the oxygen? It becomes negative, right? Wherein chlorine, it has 17 electron and 17 proton. It is going to accept 1. What happens? It becomes 18 electron and 17 proton. That is Cl minus. So valency of oxygen. So how many electrons it is going to accept? It is 2, minus 2. And valency of chlorine is it is accepting 1 electron. That is minus 1. So now ions, you can tell it as. So what are the ions? Sorry. So what are the ions now? It is oxygen 2 minus. That is the ions. Okay. Chlorine minus 1. That is chlorine minus. It is negatively charged. That is the ions. Okay. Now, what are the rules to be followed when you are writing chemical formula? So always, you know now what is the difference between valency and ions. So always the valencies or the charges on their ion must be balanced. It should be balanced. Okay. If a compound consists of a metal, if any compound, if it is having a metal, for example, NaCl. Okay, that means Na is positive and Cl is minus. Right? So if a compound consists of metal and a non-metal, Na is metal and Cl is non-metal. So the name or a symbol of the metal is always written first. Okay. So always the metal name should be first. For example, calcium oxide. Ca will be the first. O will be the next. Right. Always the metal has to be written first, then followed by oxygen. That is non-metal. Now next is sodium chloride. Just now I said Na is a metal and Cl is minus. So always metal has to be written first. Iron sulfide. Iron is a metal, sulfur is a non-metal. So iron has to be written first. Whether it is a chemical symbol or chemical name, it has to be written first. Okay. So where oxygen, chlorine, sulfur are said to be non-metals and are written on the right side. So whereas calcium, sodium, iron are metals, those are written on the left. So in compounds, what happens? In compounds formed with polyatomic ions, more than 1, more than 2. Okay. The ion is enclosed in a bracket. If it is polyatomic ions, then it is enclosed in the bracket. You might have come across this kind of chemical formula. So before writing the number to indicate the ratio, in case the number of polyatomic ion is 1, the bracket is not required. So polyatomic ion the 1 idra, number 1 idra, no need of writing bracket. For example, NaOH. No need of writing bracket for this. Okay, it has only one polyatomic ion. Okay, so these are the rules that has to be in your mind when you are writing chemical formula. So children, this was the concept about how to write chemical formula. I hope it was so easy. So we will discuss in the live session. I'll write it and I'll explain you. Okay, so that you'll understand much better. Worksheet will be sent along with this video. Do solve it and have a good day.